Welcome to Hot Drama TV.
The actress Liu Yuning quietly admires, and what it reveals about him. In the Chinese entertainment industry, admiration is rarely accidental. Every compliment is weighed. Every name mentioned carries meaning. And every preference when spoken aloud reveals more than it seems. So when discussions surfaced about which female artists male stars genuinely admire, not as rumors, not as marketing, but as personal respect, one name stood out. And among those who mentioned her was Liu Yuning. The actress was Zhao Liying. First it sounds simple, familiar, predictable. But look closer, and the story quietly shifts because this is not really about Zhao Liying. It is about Liu Yuning, a man who knows the cost of staying. Liu Yuning did not arrive in this industry through shortcuts. There was no overnight debut. No perfectly packaged beginning. Before the dramas, before the OST dominance, before the red carpets, there were years of uncertainty. Street performances. Live streaming rooms. A voice admired before a face was accepted. For a long time he stood outside the system, watching others rise faster, louder, easier. And when he finally stepped into acting, he did so carrying something many stars never experience. Memory. Memory of being overlooked. Memory of waiting. Memory of earning every step. That history shapes the way Liu Yuning sees success, and the people he respects. Why Zhao Liying matters in this story. Zhao Liying's career is often described with one word: steady. No explosive scandals. No dependency on hype cycles. No need to constantly prove relevance. She built her place through repetition, resilience, and an unwavering focus on her craft. Role after role she earned trust from directors, audiences, and peers alike. For someone like Liu Yuning, that kind of career is not just admirable. It is understandable. When he speaks of Zhao Liying with respect, it is not the voice of a fan. It is the voice of someone recognizing a familiar rhythm, slow, demanding, and unforgiving. Admiration without illusion. What makes this admiration striking is what it avoids. There is no fantasy. No romantic framing. No attempt to turn respect into narrative bait. Instead, Zhao Liying appears as a reference point. A reminder that longevity is built quietly, far away from trends and noise. And Liu Yuning's acknowledgement of her signals something deeper than preference. It signals alignment. A mirror, not a pedestal. In the entertainment industry, many admire success. Fewer admire endurance. Liu Yuning's journey places him among the latter. His respect for Zhao Liying reflects his own evolving position. No longer the outsider seeking validation, but an artist conscious of where he wants to stand 10 years from now. He is no longer chasing attention. He is choosing direction. And direction once chosen defines everything. What this reveals about Liu Yuning's future. This moment, small, almost forgettable in headlines, quietly marks a transition. Liu Yuning is no longer framed only by how far he has come. He is increasingly defined by what he values. Professional discipline. Emotional restraint. Careers that last beyond algorithms. By admiring Zhao Liying, he reveals his own standard. Not loud success. Not fragile popularity. But relevance built slowly enough to survive change. Why audiences feel this shift? Audiences today are sharper than ever. They sense sincerity. They recognize when admiration is performative and when it is real. Liu Yuning's respect does not feel calculated. Feels earned. And that authenticity strengthens his public image far more than any scripted interview could. Positions him not as a trend but as a presence. The quiet power of choosing role models. In an industry obsessed with rising fastest, Liu Yuning looks toward someone who stayed standing. That choice matters. Because in the end, careers are not remembered by how brightly they begin, but by how truthfully they endure. And in this quiet moment of admiration, Liu Yuning tells us exactly what kind of artist he intends to become. Not the loudest voice in the room, but the one still speaking when the room grows quiet. When respect becomes a statement. In today's entertainment industry, saying less often means more. Liu Yuning is not known for grand declarations or carefully staged admiration. He rarely positions himself at the center of conversation. And perhaps that is why, when he speaks about someone he respects, the words carry weight. His acknowledgement of Zhao Liying is not framed as praise meant to circulate. It is framed as something closer to recognition, the kind that happens quietly without expecting applause. That restraint matters, because restraint is learned. The long road changes the way you look at success. Those who rise quickly often celebrate momentum. Those who rise slowly learn to respect balance. Liu Yuning belongs to the second group. His years outside the mainstream taught him that visibility is temporary, but reputation lasts. That lesson reshapes ambition. It shifts focus away from chasing attention toward protecting credibility. Zhao Liying's career viewed through this lens becomes more than an achievement. It becomes a case study, a reminder that staying power is not built through constant exposure, but through consistency and self-control. Why this admiration feels personal. What resonates most is not the name mentioned but the familiarity behind it. Both Liu Yuning and Zhao Liying share a professional trait rarely highlighted in celebrity culture. They are comfortable with silence. They do not rush to explain themselves. They allow their work to accumulate meaning over time. For Liu Yuning, this recognition likely carries personal weight. It reflects his own evolution, from being judged prematurely to understanding the value of patience. Admiration in this context is not admiration upward. It is admiration across an industry that is learning to slow down. This moment also signals a broader shift within Chinese entertainment. As audiences mature, so do the standards they apply to stars. Viewers are less impressed by sudden explosions of fame and more curious about who remains steady when the spotlight moves on. Liu Yuning's expressed respect aligns him with that shift. He is no longer only responding to the industry. He is quietly shaping how he wants to exist within it. A career defined by choices, not noise. Every artist reaches a point where growth is no longer about opportunity, but about selection. Who to work with, what stories to tell, which values to protect. Liu Yuning's admiration for Zhao Liying reveals one of those selections. It signals a desire for longevity, not acceleration. And that decision, once made, influences every role that follows. Why this matters to the audience. Audiences may not consciously analyze these moments, but they feel them. They sense when admiration is performative. They recognize when respect is genuine. This is why Liu Yuning's image continues to stabilize rather than spike. He does not burn bright and fade. He warms slowly, steadily, until presence becomes permanence. The quiet promise behind the words. In a single statement of respect, Liu Yuning offers a promise, not to fans but to himself. Promise to build, not rush. To endure, not impress. To matter, not trend. And in an industry that rarely pauses to reflect, that promise may be the boldest move of all.